Welcome to my channel. This is my news show called the God Awful Daily News, God Awful Truth. Of course, the news was worse today than it was yesterday, as was predicted and expected. And I've got the last 12 hours of the news right here, which is just way too much news for 12 hours. It's almost all bad. If you didn't see it, the cover picture for this video is the 1,461 beers you can buy from Moosehead Beer. That is a beer for every day left in this terrible regime, Nazi regime that we have here in America. That's really shitty. super shitty. It sucks ass. I wonder how many Americans would prefer to fight for Canada. Like the majority. Oh, the things that come out of that man's mouth. At this point, I mean, a medical emergency might save America, but then it puts that psycho J.D. Vance with his eyeliner in the... Who does his makeup? Does his wife do his makeup? Does he do it? Does he go, oh yeah, this makes me look so cool? I don't care what anybody says. I just think I look so cool like this. Like, how does that work behind the scenes? Does he have a makeup artist? I just wonder. But don't be surprised if someday I don't try to be, because those Republicans, they know how to be masculine. So I might have to put some eyeliner on to show my masculinity. Oh, it's so sad. So I've got some alien stuff queued up. I've been watching alien stuff, my whole life. And there's a few things that fall through the cracks that I think are particularly interesting and worth saying, that's, gotta be for real or whatever. Anyway, but some of it speaks to what's happening right now. And that's kind of freaky dicky. Sending heaps of aloha and love to you. Aloha. We'll get out and paddle today. I paddled out the other night. I've been swimming, so my lats and back muscles are coming back, and I'm ready to go out. I'm going to go out I went out about 1.5 miles 2 days ago, but I'm going to go out 2-3 miles. Luckily, I can swim home if I need to. And but I don't want to because I would be really scared. I'm not comfortable swimming long distances in the ocean. I figure my odds are better in our wonderful pool system. We got the best public pools in the world here. Anyway, I'm totally getting off subject. So I'm gonna go silent because I don't know how to play music without getting copyrighted. And I'm gonna start this, like all my news programs, with a little dance. I ain't got nobody to dance with. Haven't danced in a long time. But I find it a good way to loosen up before I tell you this terrible news about the last 12 hours. And the funny thing is, if you listen to my news, you're going to hear all my news again, because all of this is cycling through. No one has reported in America on the Canadian crate of beer you can buy. I wonder what it costs. Is it $1,000, $1,500? Is it $1 a beer? Is it less? Because it's 1,461 beers. Fucking awesome. If you're an American, I recommend, tariffs and all, order that 1,461 beers to show support for Canada. We love you guys. Yeah, I was thinking I might drink some whiskey here, during one of these programs. Pull a Pete Hegseth, maybe in the morning. And but of course, if I'm gonna drink some whiskey, it should be Crown Royal. So I might go buy some Crown Royal, which has a really interesting story on the back of it that even I've been serving alcohol most of my life, and people that drink Crown Royal and nothing else don't even know the story. They don't even bother to read the back of the bottle. But it's a great story. They created Crown Royal, a great whiskey, just to serve to the king and queen, or the queen when she came from England to visit Canada. And then after she visited and they served her this fine whiskey, they kept making it, and that's why it's called Crown Royal. It all started with wanting to create something to serve the Queen, which is a pretty cool story. Anyway, all right, I digress. All right, so I'm gonna dance. I need to get this over with. I need to get. This is really good for my confidence. Plus, I haven't been getting out much, and who knows? Maybe I'll find my future dance partner through my YouTube channel. Who knows? All right, here we go. I'm gonna turn on some Usher, doing yeah with Little John and Ludacris. That's what I'll be dancing to. And I drink my coffee black, hella black. Oh yeah, let's get after it here, huh? Okay. Da 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 da.
limited time.
All right. Woo, okay, let's put this up here. Let's talk about aliens real quick. Oh, dang it. Let's see if I can. Let's get there. Dang it. There we go. Okay. Now. Crap. Turn the volume off. There we go. Okay. So. All right, so. Check this out. All right, so up above here, this is the Arecibo message. And we sent this out when I was a little kid, when I was 5 years old. This binary message from that big disc, Arecibo disc, they made a movie about in Puerto Rico. And then, almost 30 years later, aliens responded and gave us a version of themselves. This talks about our DNA, all of our basics, our planetary system, and they send one back showing us their DNA, the slight differences between their realities and ours, right? And that's what you'll see here. Check this out. So that's the message we sent out into space. And then they sent this one back, right? Check this out. This is a freaking crop circle, okay? An exact replica, a message back to us, right? That all speaks, and it's in binary code. We can read it. We know what it says. It shows their differences, okay? And then there was this one, a disc with a binary message in English that tells a message next to a face. This one right here. This shit is fucking crazy. All right, it's fucking nuts. So that message, right? It reads like, there's much pain, right? We're all gonna suffer a shit ton, but there's still time to save ourselves. They don't say to save, there's still time, much pain, still time. And then, like, don't trust the deceivers, you know, people who lie to you. World leaders who are deceptive and liars and who, you know, all right. So, and what I don't understand is why every human on earth didn't hear that, see that message. Like, they've made contact, they've talked to us. In addition to the next thing I'm going to show you, I just don't understand why we, like, every person, every world leader, and go, oh shit, the people from outer space told us not to kill ourselves. Maybe we should listen to them. Like, oh, it's just like this thing that's out there in left field. It should be like something we listen to. It's so basic. It's don't believe, you know, beware of the deceivers. And don't kill yourself, and you still have time. But you're gonna if you don't figure it out. So there's that message. And then there's the next one that's just super detailed and haunting, and that's this interview. I'll show you it, just the beginning of it shows the cover page, Project Blue Book, which we know is real. There's a goddamn TV show about it. It's been unclassified, and it was the project to deal with alien shit. 1964, that checks out, right? It's in black and white, and it's an interview of somebody who has a mentality of some dipshit in 1964 who has an evangelical freaking mindset, thinking that God is the answer and created everything. And this guy's like, why? He basically says, why are you asking me that? That's just stupid. We gave up on all that shit after we blew the whole world up. And he explained, this alien explains that he's a descendant of us, but can't procreate with us anymore. And that he's come back to observe because they don't know what happened, how it happened. They just know a couple details. And the guy's like, so the person that's gonna kill us all is alive right now? Why don't you just tell us who he is and we'll go kill him? And he goes, oh, we can't do that. Like it's against some time warp code or something. And so, but then the guy goes on to explain stuff that the interviewer can't comprehend, right, about the future. And it's stuff we can comprehend now. Like back then, he didn't know what the hell the guy was talking about. But do you know what super artificial intelligence is? Yes, everybody right now in the world knows what that is. And that alien tells us that the two things that are gonna fucking kill us all is religious tribalism and super artificial intelligence. And the interviewer is like, anyway, and they torture him to death. It's freaking brutal. And so the problem is it's so plausible, logical, rational. It's what a super intelligent person would say. And so, I wonder how that evolved. Did we have people underground for generations that ended up, because, he's different than us, but there's enough that's similar, right? His muscularity, brain got bigger. Maybe, people who had no exposure to sunlight for maybe a long period of time might evolve into this, bunch of future Elon Musks and who knows, right? Descendants of the few people that had good bunkers. I don't know. But just check it out. I'm just gonna show you the beginning of this, called Alien Interview number 1. See this right here? This is, and then it goes right into the interview. This is just like the beginning of it. And I see this guy. This is the thing that is haunting right here. This, and it's all, 1,000 light years to get here. Yes, he says, and he can speak a gargled kind of English. Tell us the truth, he says. He's just this ignorant fool. It is the truth. It is truth. I am from Earth, from your future, right? To travel in time is to travel in space, right? This is some deep shit. Offset spatial divergence. So I take it aliens took over our future? No. So you're human? An evolutionary descendant is what he's, right? So you evolved from us? Yes. Fucking guy's an idiot. So what are you doing here now? Observing. Since evidence was destroyed. How? Nuclear war. Small numbers survived. Our ancestors, right? Small numbers of us survive, and this is our future product. How about we concentrate on your time? You are not capable of comprehending or accepting the discoveries of my time. And this guy is a moron, so it makes sense. Try me, he says. The origin of the universe, right? The nature of so-called life. It is known. So you know the meaning of life? Not meaning, nature. Meaning is something that is ascribed, says right? Which is true. Nature is the objective reality. You dipshit. He can't understand. So you know how the universe is created? Yes. So you've seen God? We evolved past a need for superstition. God is a superstition. The need for a God and other myths. They've moved past that need. Oh, illuminate us. What happens when we die? Death is a human construct. It does not exist. That's deep. You will experience and have experienced every instance of so-called life. It's so deep. You, me, him. We are instances of the same life, separated by what you call death. So intense. Anyway, all right. So now you see what I see. That shit is so deep. That guy's on a level fucking beyond us, or as a philosopher goes way the fuck up here, or someone who's into physics, or oh my God, whatever. Anyway, and he goes on, and then they torture him, and he explains that it's super artificial intelligence and dumbass religious people like white supremacists, who want to start religious wars so they can get the second coming of Jesus. That's what these idiots in the White House think. The guy that preaches to Mike Johnson wants to bring the second coming of Jesus, and I think they believe that if they could just have a nuclear war, they're going to bring the second coming of Jesus. It's so fucked up. Anyway, will we stop this from happening is the question. Will we stop it? I don't. I hope. And then there's Baba Vanga, this mystic lady, who said Trump would be 45 would be the last president in our history, and then he was beaten by Biden. And so then you thought, oh, maybe that's not going to happen. But now 45 is the president again. So that Baba Vanga could still be right. If and the way things are going, it looks like Trump just very well might be the last president in American history, because either we'll never be a democracy again, or the world will be, the majority of all people will pass away. So I'm thinking Northern Hemisphere, where 7/8 of all humans live, which is where there'll probably be some sort of nuclear stupidity, you know, whether it's that nuclear power plant that's got one power cord on a generator, keeping it cool, Zaporizhia in Ukraine, thanks to the Russians, or just our, Pete Hegseth, white supremacist wanting to fight for his Christian God, go kill those Muslims, and they'll say, oh, we're just trying to stop them from developing nuclear bombs, so we gotta nuclear them, right? Or will it be some act against Israel, or some exchange there, or will it be Taiwan with China? Who knows? Or something Russia does, who have not taken that off the table and threatened Ukraine with that. So I don't know. But he does go on to say it's not just like complete mass annihilation, right? I mean, some of us live, and so and it's just a few. He also goes on to explain it's just a few, like it's not destruction in one day, but over time unwinding after those first 5, 10 nuclear detonations, or whatever it is, the nuclear war that Trump keeps talking about, because he wants to have one, because he wants to hurt as many people on earth as he can, because he's a sociopath. And people got to wake up, man. I mean, it is just, we got to impeach him. The freaking senators and all the enablers, they're the sickest ones, because they're the ones who won't stop a sociopath, a pathological liar, a narcissistic, a malignant narcissist. He is a danger to all humans on earth. And to the Republicans, all that matters is they win today. They're going to just dismantle everything anyone ever did before them. And just, if Joe Biden made it, we got to get rid of it. And they're focused on everything that's just not what anybody cares about. And they're focused on making prices higher, making us hated in the world, galvanizing all the other countries. I mean, wanting to freaking fight Canada and Mexico and Greenland and Panama. We're ramping up our military against Panama right now. It's sick. Anyway, all right, I should probably get to the news. What time is it? 23 minutes in. Haven't even told you the news yet. Oh, and guess what? It sucks ass. Because why? I'm flying my Constitution upside down. And know your list. Let's read a couple names off this list, just for shits and giggles. Let's see. I got to remind myself. Next, got to get some new insurance. Geico donated to Project 2025 and Donald Trump, and the Nazi Manifesto. Let's see who else. George Foreman Grill. Folgers Coffee. Never going to buy Folgers Coffee ever again. Fruit of the Loom. Chevy. Can you believe it? Chevy donated to the Nazi Manifesto, Project 2025, to destroy America. Wynn Resorts, man, that really hurts, because I want to swim in their pool in Vegas. They have the longest pool I've ever seen in my life. Might be the longest pool anywhere. I mean, it's more than 100 yards long, right? It's double the size of a Olympic-sized pool, and then some. Like, I think it was is it 9 laps or something is a mile, or 16? Anyway, great swimming pool there in Vegas at the Wynn. Don't want to. I can't swim there anymore though, because Smuckers, can't buy Smuckers products ever again. And I will never support the Tampa Bay Bucks for any reason, even if they have all my favorite players, and so on. Shell Oil, gotta not go to Shell Oil. Not going to Shell Oil ever again. And that's one of our gas stations here. So that's cool. I'm paying attention. I'm going to exact my revenge for the rest of my life. It's a lifelong boycott against any and every company that eliminates DEI or donated to this Nazi regime. I don't even know why they call it neo-Nazi. The new Nazi? No, these are just Nazis. Let's just not filter it in any way or alter it. It's just pure 100%. We have Nazis have taken over our government. Confederate Nazis, Klansmen. Anyway, that are anarchists that want to destroy the world and our country. It's so perplexing. Especially the part where like they can't even discriminate against Democrats. They're ruining the lives of their own voters in mass and pissing them off, firing hundreds of thousands. I mean, look, if they're going to gut 50% in one day, the Department of Education, which they just did in the rudest, most cruel manner. Of course, they're saying that everybody, got fired because they weren't performing well. But the 1,300 that were fired, they hauled them all out on a freaking fire alarm and then wouldn't let them back in. Like, you can't have your purse, your phone might be in there, your backpack. You can't even go back to your desk, get that picture. Like, the rudest, like, these aren't criminals. These are good, hardworking people working to help our kids learn and educate. And, oh, God, it's just, the insults are so, it's just brutal. But, I mean, if you knew that Republicans were this shitty, it's almost, there's something satisfying about it, because you suspect that maybe some of these people who've been brainwashed by these dipshits, con men, are finally going, oh, whoa, they're con men all of a sudden. They're realizing, holy shit, I voted for this asshole. What the fuck was I doing? Like, I think there's a whole lot of that right now. Oh my God, especially everyone who just lost their life who voted for this, right? You got a ranch, you got a farm. You're a veteran with a job. You're a veteran who works for the VA, helping other veterans. You spent your whole life working for you just had the carpet yanked out from under you. And so you'll see that a lot of attention given to that. And then, of course, a judge just ruled, 2 judges have ruled to hire back all the probationary people, which is 20,000 people right now. But I bet it's more than that. I mean, if they're going to fire 50% of the Department of Education, they're going to fire 50% of every department if they can, which is 1 million employees they're trying to get rid of right away. It's 2.3 million government workers, and they're going to try to get rid of 1 million right away. And that's going to be so much pain in so many ways. The reverse multiplier effect on the money that doesn't go into the freaking economy. Just to name one. But the part where you're pulling the rug out from all these people and calling them bad at their job, which is just so insulting, just for any human being that's ever worked. That's the funny thing about Trump, right? He's never worked, never had a job. He's never driven a car. He's never had a driver's license. He's never shopped for groceries. He's never been in a grocery store. He can't read. Like, how many Americans do you know have any of those qualities? Like, I mean, a lot of what makes most Americans feel like they're American is like being able to drive a car and the freedom that comes with it. Knowing how to shop for food in the grocery store. Having worked, had a job at any time in their life, and being able to read. Like, most Americans can do all that shit, but not our president. Who's just so good at everything because his daddy gave him $400 million. It's unbelievable. All right, so let's get into the news. You saw the presidential pack already. Elbows up if you haven't heard about that. To hit you over the head, to cut you across the eye in hockey. You know, that's a throwback to one of a hockey Hall of Famer who used to come out to exact revenge on the ice. A Canadian mantra, and it is being said about us. Because I mean, as pissed off as I am, imagine Canadians are so pissed off. It's so rude and unsettling. Like, it's enough to make you want to fight somebody. And I'm not even one of them. So yeah, and they're not afraid to throw fists. So, and if you want to see real Red Dawn people, you see that movie Red Dawn, that kind of American. Oh, Canadians are 10 times that shit. They'll go to the hills. They'll never give that country up. What the fuck are we thinking? I mean, it's not us. It's this one sociopath and 4,400 asshole Republicans that support this shit. The state elected Republicans, and the federally elected, and all those shitty 6 Supreme Court justices. Future news: Eileen Cannon takes Justice Thomas's place. You know, it's going to be just gross what's coming. Of course, another airplane is on fire, making us all feel less safe to fly, which is not going to be good for our economy. There are so many contributing factors. The people on Wall Street have no freaking idea what's going on. They still just don't get it. Add it all up. People being afraid to fly, Canadians not wanting to come here. Although Americans, if you haven't heard the news, Americans are like, yeah, we still love you, Canada. We'd love to come visit you. We're coming there for vacation. We hope, you know, and I bet Canadians are nice to us to come there to spend our money because that's the kind of people they are. But I wouldn't be surprised if occasionally a Canadian is like, your president's a fucking asshole. And we'll be like, yeah, I know, man, sorry. Because everyone's embarrassed about our president, everyone. Or anybody with an IQ above 80. Can you imagine still supporting this openly Nazi regime, being that depraved of a human and that stupid? Like, oh my God, these farmers that just... Did they not look in front of their face and see their 65-70% of their employees were undocumented workers, working for less money, doing harder work than anybody else, not getting any benefits? You know, and then what I love is the people that complain about the costs. Oh, they're a drag on our medical care system. Well, that's because we don't give them any benefits. We're saving their profit-making employer lots of money, helping him make a profit, right? So why would we criticize them for that, for being mistreated? They still, net total, huge added bonus to our world by picking our food for us, which, of course, our food's not getting picked. People aren't getting on planes. Constriction, retraction, look around the world. Tariffs are going to fuck up everything. There's so many reasons prices are going to go up. So many reasons the world's economies are going to shrink because of this rogue Russian asset that is running our government and supported by 350 shitty congressmen and Supreme Court justices and 4,073 shitty locally elected Republicans. So I just pray that it's not too late and that we have time to vote some Democrats in there, you know, so we can all live. Of course, if this is great, because yesterday I reported on this before everybody, because I got right on it. The lady who locked up her stepson for 20 years, nearly killing him, set the house on fire to get rescued. 32 years old, been locked up in this room for 20 years. Let out to do chores like a slave while not fed. And this brings us to this moment now. Donald Trump is taking away kids' free lunches, right? This kid was starved by his parents. Had there been free lunches at school, people gave him food, teachers at school, because he was starving all the time. Okay, right now that kid exists. There's no food at home. There are kids in our country that only eat their one meal a day is that free lunch at school, right? Trump's gonna take that away. Make sure, because that $1 billion of free food for people at food banks and in schools, you gotta take that away so you can put it towards the $1 trillion you wanna, $1,000 billion in, that's $4,000 billion in tax breaks for the richest of the rich that don't eat. Tesla pays no federal taxes. Let that sink in, right? While poor people are paying 20, 30% of their income just off their paycheck, and then taxes on everything else. So, yeah. Anyway, so this mother, she's got this MAGA face all day long. She got her MAGA. I said she was going to be a MAGA mom. If there's one thing this woman looks like, she looks like she came straight from a freaking Trump rally. And I bet they dig through some video somewhere and find her at Trump rallies while this kid is locked up at home that she's starving to death. A deranged Trump supporter. Look at her makeup. That says MAGA mom all day long. And of course, measles. There's a huge outbreak of measles in the United States, thanks to Republicans, and because of the fear of vaccinations. And JFK blames the child that died of measles on not being fit enough, of course. And all the while, with all this going on, no one in the CDC or JFK has mentioned vaccines, getting vaccinated for the measles. No, that's not the recommended thing to do. Still, they're not even talking about that. Oh, here, have some cod liver oil. Have some erythromycin, whatever. Oh my God. So yeah, boy, are they stupid, huh? So the eyeliner man, if you haven't seen the news, he got booed mercilessly at the Kennedy Center, which brings up another subject I'm going to talk about, which I just can't wait to be made right, because I'm going to be right about, like, that measles could ravage the islands. Totally, yeah. For all the stupid people that aren't vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. My kids are vaccinated. It is crazy. It is just crazy. Yeah, what the hell are you going to do, huh? Stupid is as Republican does. But check this out. So eyeliner man was booed. Or is it mascara? Or is it both? I wonder. I really want to try to get some eye makeup. I prefer to find some woman who could just do me up once, because I don't have to buy it just to do it once. But I'd like to do one of these shows with some eye makeup on, just to show my true masculinity and celebrate the masculinity of our manly Republicans who go out in public with eyeliner on, which is fine, man. Be nothing tease-worthy there normally, live and let live. It's a free country. No one would normally give a shit, except when you're the guy that's going out there talking about what it means to be a man. Oh, that is just unbelievable. That's so great. So, okay, so I love this. All right, so if you're not aware, everything at the Kennedy Center has been hijacked by Trump and just unevolved, dumb shit Republicans who are greedy. And, of course, this is going to be a way for them to give away all the awards to their friends, because not enough white men are getting the Kennedy Center, annual Lifetime Achievement Award, right? Which we give to good people who are great at stuff. And that's cool. But I assure you, the next 4 years of the honorees of the Person of the Year at the Kennedy Center are going to be from this list. Right? Will it be Kanye? Will it be Sylvester Stallone? Kid Rock? Ted Nugent? Scott Baio? Yeah, Chachi. Jason Aldean? Will it be Charlton Heston in posthumously? Elon Musk, maybe he should get it. Jeff Bezos, maybe he should get the Lifetime Achievement Award. Joe Rogan, he should get the Lifetime Achievement Award. Maybe Carrie Underwood, yeah. Randy Quaid, wouldn't he be great? Or his brother Dennis. They're both, Republican shills. Or would they be daring enough to do the DEI Republican thing, trying to make themselves seem cool, and put up a black Republican? Isn't it great? Justice Thomas he was a Black Panther. He went from Black Panther to Black Klansman, or Black Nazi, whichever you want to call it. That's a huge divergence. I'm just saying. I mean, those are some pretty far extensions of what is in the world today. Interesting, isn't it? Black Panther to Black Klansman. A real life one. Justice Uncle Thomas. Anyway, so what if it was, there are a couple noteworthy black guys whose music I used to listen to. 50 Cent, right? Republican, how's that work? Oh my God, I guess, well, and it could be because there is this thing called a country club Republican, which is just a Republican that votes, who's got tons of money, who only votes to protect his money and doesn't give a shit about anything else, right? So 50 Cent, Ice Cube, will he get the Kennedy Award? Probably not. I think it's going to be all white people. But if it's anyone who isn't white, it's going to be 50 Cent or Ice Cube or Kanye, right? Gene Simmons could get it, right? John Voight, there's a good candidate. John Voight. Chuck Norris, he's a good Republican who has lost all credibility. I used to have reasons to like Chuck Norris, not anymore. Don't like Chuck Norris for the rest of my life. I can't imagine. Anyway, let's see. And then who else? Who else? Is that it? Yeah, maybe Kelly Clarkson. I hear she's a Republican. That'd be I mean, if you're going to give it to a DEI woman, you can give it to her. Or Carrie Underwood. But that'd be DEI. Same with 50 Cent or Ice Cube or Kanye. That'd be DEI. So I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be a white man. I think Joe Rogan. I think Sly Stallone. Chuck Norris. Either the Quaid, probably Dennis Quaid, because he ain't so crazy. Jason Aldean, maybe. Ted Nugent, Kid Rock. Those I think it's going to be among them, most likely. So that's just going to be funny. Because these predictably stupid people who weaponize everything and corrupt everything they touch and talk about and do are going to do this, and they're just going to make me right again. I'll try not to be the guy. No, I don't think Roseanne Barr will be their choice. But great reference, Roseanne Barr. He just mentioned her again, right? He can't let go. Oh, and I just love her defiance. She is not someone that takes shit, and so she's just never not taking shit. Never has. That's what bothers him so much. Yeah. God bless you, Rosie O'Donnell. All right. So I love all the students in Idaho in solidarity with the teacher who put up the sign. Everyone is welcome here because that's so controversial. And now T-shirts are coming out and being sold, and yeah. If I had any money at all that I should be spending on anything, I would buy one of those shirts. That'd be a wonderful statement. Just wear that shirt. That's a way to say F you to the shitty Republicans with love, right? Everyone is welcome here. Oh, great shirts. If you haven't seen it, that's going to be in the news. So yeah, 20,000 workers got told they got to be rehired, and of course Trump won't know how to do that because they've been burning everything. right? Throwing away, trashing all existence of these people's lives, right? They're going to go back to an empty desk with nothing in it, not knowing what to do for a living, and they're going to have to refigure all that out because these evil, devil worshiping assholes are just trying to destroy everything they touch, like Donald Trump has done his whole life. Of course, the numbers are this. It's so sick. Republicans are taking $660 million of free school lunches away from children so they can push a tax break up to the rich who already don't pay any taxes and who don't need a tax break. And the biggest corporations who don't pay any tax. They used to pay 30% of our overall tax were paid by corporations. Now it's 6% and getting smaller. $420 million that goes to food banks. You know where a lot of that support goes to? Republicans, red districts, starving families and starving children in school. So that's just a great place to take from, so that you could just make sure you don't have to tax the billionaires. It's like, it's so obvious. Everyone knows it. You keep talking, oh, we got to get these tariffs and tax breaks. Tariffs are going to drive up prices. Tax breaks are not going to help anybody except the super rich. So, and everyone knows that, and they just keep saying it. And it's as if they just don't get that we understand how stupid and evil they are every time they say that shit. They're so, yeah, people are just so pissed off at these town halls. God bless you, town hall people. How about, I love Senator Whitehouse. I think he might have been born Canadian, but so I don't think he can be president. But I wish he was president, because Senator Whitehouse would be so cool if President Whitehouse was in the White House. I'm just saying, that would be so cool. I would love to hear that. Oh, President Whitehouse is in the White House today. He's coming back. White House is coming. Oh, who's in the house? White House is in the White House. Anyway, it would be just great. But he's also one of the best guys, elected people we have in our country. Then there's this guy, John Larson from Connecticut, that just lit it up and just dressed down the Republicans and said it to their face the way Americans would say it to them, and would like them to hear it. And that's being celebrated. You see him in the news. It's a beautiful thing. His diatribe against these assholes was on point and to be celebrated. And then there's Chuck Edwards. This is the most recent debacle. I should show it to you, but you got to go find this if you haven't seen it already. It's this veteran who just isn't taking any shit and speaks up and speaks his mind, because his life is being dismantled by Republicans, right? And they, of course, have to escort him out. Cops got to get him out of the room because he's too unruly. And he speaks truth to power. This wonderful veteran to Chuck Edwards, this piece of shit. I think in some super red district. I think it's North Carolina. I mean, it's beautiful. This is a real American patriot standing up, on the front lines. So there's that. That's going to be in the news. Oh, and Hank Williams Jr., he could be the Kennedy Center person, He'd probably be the most legitimate person to actually nominate. Anyway, the one that's legitimate of all those people would be Hank Williams Jr. God bless him. Even if he is a Republican, he's maybe the one in that whole group. You can look past it a little bit. Gotta love Hank Williams Jr. All right. What else? The Swiss. God bless them. If you haven't seen this, you go see this. The Swiss have never taken sides in 100 years, but they just did for the first time, and they hate Donald Trump. They had this beautiful march of people with middle fingers. Their whole head was a middle finger. Beautiful. All to Donald Trump. And at the front of that was a giant middle finger with Trump's face on the nail. I took a picture of it. I might make it a screen, intro picture. So the Swiss are one of so many who dislike Donald Trump to the extreme. You could use the H word. I should stop using the H word. Doesn't make the world a better place. But the extreme dislike. If there's one person not welcome in Switzerland, it'd be Donald Trump and any of his piece of shit friends. So that's cool. They stopped the Department of Government eliminators, these evil doers, these Doge little wuss bags that I showed up here on my screen the other day. They went in and just shut down the African Aid Agency, a small agency, just of course, because I mean, and just like completely, they fired, I think, everybody and just completely dismantled and destroyed a department that was authorized and supported and funded by the United States Congress, taking United States Congress power away, which was just ceded. They just gave a bunch of power away in this continuing resolution, I think, is that what it is? The budget that was passed, Chuck Schumer, AOC, if you haven't seen her, she's pissed off, and for a good reason. These Democrats need to fight, and not capitulate at all. Anyway, everyone's pissed off at Chuck Schumer, if you haven't seen that, for good reason, again. Then there's Lincoln Heights. God bless these wonderful, it's a beautiful black community, and these dumb shit Nazis with guns got on the freeway overpass. You probably saw that with their Nazi signs. Locals came out and said, fuck you, get the fuck out of here before you get your ass beat. And the cowards, the racist, meek weaklings, Republicans, Nazis, who went to go try to threaten the people of Lincoln Heights. I believe that is that Ohio or Illinois? Well, now the locals have their own little militia. They got their own military strap weapon people, friends, and business owners and fathers and brothers walking around with their vests on, and they're protecting the neighborhood from the Nazis who are going to come back. They're going to target this place, and they're going to be in for it if they want to target these nice, law-abiding, beautiful American citizens who happen to be black. I mean, it is just so gross, these Nazis, and boy, they're biting off a little more than they can chew. You know what I wonder about? Most of the Jewish people I've ever known were very nice, relatively docile. But there's also a bunch of nice Jewish people who are like those bear Jews who hunted Nazis and are tough as nails, and that Mossad kind, scary Jews that don't take no shit from nobody. And I just wonder, there was once, there were Nazi hunters in the past. Are there Nazi hunters now? I just wonder, are there people out there going, oh, okay, you think you can just push? Because, I mean, I could see myself pissed off to the point where I might want to do something. If I was part of some minority group of people, whether I was trans or anybody being targeted, right? I might take it personally and want to take it upon myself to go fight back against violent, white, inferiorist, anti-nationalist traitors, right? Town halls, ooh, cool, yeah, AOCO, yeah, those guys. Oh, and I'd love to be a Democrat doing a town hall, saying, yeah, I'm going to fight for you, god dang it. And thanks for being here, and let's get this next election straight. If we're alive. Seriously, I got to dance, because what if the end of the world's coming? You should be dancing too, I mean, we're looking up, we're seeing it coming, but maybe we can't stop it, I don't know. I hope not. I want to live till I'm like 95 years old, maybe 100. My grandma lived till she was 100. That beautiful woman in these old movies. All right, so that's what's going on in the news. There's a little more. The cost, because of aluminum, cost of everything that comes in an aluminum can, beer, even our domestic beer, is going to go up. Although it's interesting, if you look at the business news on that end, they're like, it's going to push up the cost of every can 2 cents. Which seems like nothing to you and me, but that's enough for them to have to change things. That actually has an impact on them, which is, I thought, was fascinating. But the cost of a new airplane, a new Boeing airplane, will be $40 million more because of the cost of aluminum going up. So, and then that makes a Boeing plane not competitively priced versus Airbus products, right? The other person in the world making, or Aero, whatever that company is. There's like 2 companies making planes, and they're competitive with each other in quality and price. And yeah, Boeing, it's not going to be good for Boeing. Then there's Josh Brown, the analyst at CNBC. He's one of the few people that's a pretty straight shooter. He reads the truth. He reads charts and doesn't mince his words. Just like me, we don't mince our words or our onions. No, but he's been telling the truth, and you know, but Wall Street still just doesn't get it. It doesn't see it coming. It's still trying to tell you, oh, it's a correction. Today there was a slight bounce back, I think. We'll check it. Maybe I'll check it here in a second. I think the markets are still open. Tesla was down 12 yesterday. I don't see any reason to see an optimistic future for that company at all, ever again. And there's people that think, oh, this is just temporary. Like they're going to get their image back. You know what I mean? The amount of business. Literally just shot themselves in the foot so bad, but I just don't see any stop. Look, Europe is never going to buy another Tesla. Canada is never going to buy another Tesla. Most Americans that would have bought one would never buy one ever again. There's no forgiving a Nazi for being a Nazi. There is The Hague. There's a jail cell where you might, see a future, but there's no forgiveness. No forgiveness. And the future will bear. Yeah, just look, the future will bear it out, right? I'd much rather be on the right side, even if I get locked up for speaking my mind, because Republicans are already attacking people for free speech, locking somebody up in Louisiana who's from frickin' New York for free speech, which is gross. Which is why another thing in the news is the 98 people arrested, Jews, fighting for a Muslim brother, the Palestinian, to get out of jail because it's crazy what they're doing, right? And if you can revoke his citizenship, you can revoke Melania's. Let's get her out. Let's deport Melania if we're going to deport this nice Palestinian who's got a wife 8 months pregnant, right? Poses no threat, super civilized, wonderful person. And we wonder, why would anyone want to do terrorism against us? It's like, oh, and then there's Gaza, right? Well, there's a poll, like 85% of people think trying to take Gaza is the stupidest thing you could ever say. With Greenland. Nobody agrees with Trump on any of this shit. And it's just so sad, disheartening, and frightening for us, because no American wants to go to war, right? Oh, he never started a war. So that's why that was another stupid fucking thing Republicans used to say. Idiots. Anyway, then there's birthright citizenship. Trump's working right now to get rid of the Constitution, because the Constitution is upside down. So, look forward to that going to the Supreme Court. Why Trump will be focused on trying to take away people's birthright citizenship instead of working on bringing the price of groceries down, which he didn't learn that word because he's functionally illiterate, and he never purchased groceries in his life, never drove a car. He's the most feckless, ineffective human. Never had a job, still doesn't have a job. Oh, and then there's Palestine. If you don't know what's going on there, it's incredibly sad. Not only have they say over 100, it's probably 200,000 people, most of which are children, have been murdered, which is genocide, absolutely. But to further that, they dropped flyers, of course, that said, we're going to move all you out of here, and no one's even going to remember you were here. Just injury to insult, salt and wounds, so, just unnecessarily, just to be dicks. Because they love being assholes. It's just so weird. But Netanyahu just now and recently has cut off all electricity, all water, all food, and medical, any assistance, any and all assistance, water, food, electricity, and electricity desalinates the only water source they have, right? Genocide. While he's going in and bombing them with the 2,000-pound bombs that Trump just gave him. And drones go around snipering. There are instances of kids there with their father, 10-year-old, snipered right in the forehead, right next to their father, by a drone that's powered by AI, that's powered by Peter Thiel. There's no person even making that decision. And that's obviously genocide. When you're killing the children next to their parents, you're killing the next generation. I mean, it's gnarly. And look, Jews, 90% of Jews agree with me. Nobody's looking at this and saying, yeah, that's something we should defend. And yet that's what all this is about. Oh, anybody that was pro-Palestinian, what do you mean? We're pro-human. We're just people that don't want to see other people just murdered. Because that could be us, right? Anyway, it's just so sick and sad because it's really an effort. They're so already, they're thirsty, they're starving, they're hurt. They've been bombed. They have no shelter. And now they're having all their resources completely cut off from the outside by Netanyahu. Just cruel. Cruel. So if you don't watch Democracy Now!, be the first story you hear. Inflation's going way up. Consumer sentiment going way down. Rick Santelli talking about that on CNBC today. Inflation going up fast, 4 or 5%, and then unemployment's going up fast. And we haven't even seen the fallout from the tariffs. And the constriction and restriction of everyone so fearful and worried and losing their jobs and not wanting to go to work, and all of that is just going to restrict the blood flow of our nation's economy. And I think the only question is, how low will the stock market go? Will it go to 32,000? Will it go to 30,000, 28,000? Will it go to 35? Will resistance be at 35,000? Is it stopped right now at 40,000? I don't think so. Bounced back a little bit today. But that's just a little bit of people thinking that there's opportunities to invest right now. I don't think it's time to find opportunities yet. I think there will be a time to find opportunities. And if or when you can, if you're the smart guy, the lucky guy or girl, if I can figure it out, when and where the bottom is, that's when you go in with whatever money you got and you buy a good company that's not affected by the tariffs, that pays a good dividend, that had nothing change in their business model except they got swept up by the overall market, right? And that's happening. It's going to happen. And that's, and I don't know what the answer to that question is, what those companies are going to be. I fantasize that maybe someone like AT&T doesn't sell stuff overseas. No one's going to subscribe less. Even if someone gets homeless, the last thing they're going to keep is their phone and phone service with the last few dollars they have. So, et cetera, right? That's the kind of thought process I think but I just think if you're a smart investor, you just wait till it's easy to pick winners at the bottom when it finally comes. But 4 years, we're only 4 days into this volatility, and of course markets like stability, just like a seed in the soil wants steady sunlight, steady water, right? Stability, things grow. Stressed out plants don't grow, or economies. And so, yeah, it's amazing that people were dumb enough to listen to a guy who destroyed an economy and contend that he's going to be good for the economy. He destroyed it his last time in office. And meanwhile, while the economy's getting screwed, corporations that don't care about our national debt, they're going to continue to not pay any taxes. They continue to replace jobs with AI. They're going to start making, anybody that protests a corporation a domestic terrorist. And they're just going to have their way and get more and more powerful over the government, more powerful than our government, right? This has all been predicted. It's funny, one of the first famous bloggers, I think, on behalf of Microsoft, he was a Microsoft guy, Apple guy back in the 80s, Roger Carricker. He was my instructor at Santa Rosa Junior College, which was the first paper in the country to do its layout with Photoshop, right? The first digital layout college newspaper, maybe any newspaper in the country, was little old Santa Rosa Junior College, because it had Roger Carricker, who was right there on the cutting edge of everything. He was just a computer nerd who loved Macintoshes, and I was on school newspaper in 1992 and 3, and making my articles on one of, an Apple whatever, the first little Macintoshes. I forget what they were called. Anyway, Roger Carricker. When I rode my bicycle across the United States a third time, I stayed with my amazing, at the time, girlfriend's friend who went to Amherst with her. He was working on his PhD in astrophysics at MIT, so I stayed in the dorms at MIT, and I went out with him and all his super smart friends, and they all knew who Roger Carricker was, which was fascinating, right? All these MIT people in the early 90s knowing who my instructor was. Anyway, he taught an information age, living in the information age class back in the early 90s, and he was talking about how corporations were going to become more powerful than governments if we weren't careful. And it looks like we're seeing some of that right now. And that's all I got. All right, holy shit, what time is it? 66 minutes. Hey there, Tam, love you, girl. Thanks for letting me share the news with you. Like demons, I exercise the news. I take it in and get rid of it, because it's all bad, except for that crate of beer from Canada. God bless that. And the 20,000 workers that were rehired, or being told you got to rehire them. But of course, Trump's awful people, these awful people we gotta get it straight. It's Republicans that are evil. It's not just Trump. It's the entire party. We need to eliminate the Republican Party. We need another. I don't know why we need multiple parties that oppose each other. We could have just people in government that just want to make the world a better place and make life better for everybody, combining government help with tax money to help people, with capitalism, right? Ain't nobody gonna stop buying and selling stuff for a profit, right? This notion we're gonna fall into socialism is the most absurd shit ever. Because we're never gonna stop buying and selling stuff for a profit. So stop with the socialism bullshit. And then communism. Do you know what communism is? It's a command system where the government decides everything. Who makes what, how much of it is made, and everything, and everyone is subjugated. So that's communism. And, calling a Democrat a communist or socialist, it's just stupid. Okay? But that's what Republicans do. They just say and do stupid things all the time. And we need to hold them to their stones. We need to discriminate against Republicans for being against everything that is good. Which can start with democracy, right? God, I just don't understand. Nobody does. I mean, nobody that's sane does. And a lot of people are starting to get sane, seeing their lives destroyed by their stupid decision to vote for Republican. It's so frustrating. It's so sad, especially if anyone with empathy, if you care about people and you hate to see people suffer and die, like the 500,000 people Trump, with using negligent homicide as his tool of death. He murdered 500,000 people with COVID, right? As soon as he heard that it preyed on black people way more than white people, he unleashed it because he wanted to kill off minorities. And guaranteed, these elitists are like, let's kill off all the people with pre-existing conditions. They're a drain on the system, right? That's what these sick bastards were saying behind the freaking scenes. Anyway, All right. Well, I love y'all. You know, prepare, beware, be conservative. I used to think conservative meant conservative, like save your money for a rainy day, which just makes sense, right? If that's what the Conservative Party was, it'd be so cool. But it's never been conservative, won't be. But you need to be conservative with your resources and you need to prepare for the worst in as many cases as you can, I think. If you work for the government, of course, you need to prepare for being fired. I wish you'd had more time to prepare or start, you know, whatever. Start sending out resumes before you get fired. Take in a renter in one of those rooms right away so you can afford your mortgage. Start applying for food stamps now. Whatever you can do. Prepare, get ready to sell your house, move somewhere where you can get a job that fits your skill set. That's the nice thing about America. If it ain't happening where you're at, you can move somewhere. You know, there's a lot of healthy places to move to work. And you pregnant women in a red state, I feel sorry for you because that's got to be, or sadly the non-voters, yeah. Yeah, but hopefully people I think, because I got motivated to vote to save the United States of America for Joe Biden. I didn't really vote before Joe Biden. You know what I mean? I'm ashamed to say. I had opinions. I watched the news every day. I knew everything that was happening. I never voted. But that ain't going to happen anymore. And thank God Hawaii makes it so easy. Once you register, it's a mail-in ballot. But I will never not vote from now on. I'll be voting in every election. And yeah, man, I just can't believe people were so against women and black people they just couldn't vote for Kamala. God. But it's a couple of things to overcome, right? You got to overcome misogyny. A lot of women are infected by their shitty husbands into thinking that they shouldn't vote for a woman, right? Oh, she menstruates, so we can't vote for a woman. Those emotional swings, right? That's what asshole men say, and they get their women to say the same shit. So that's what? 3%? 2.5%, 3%, 4%, 5%. And then there's the just racist people who would never vote for a black person. No matter how democratic they were, they can't vote. They're racist Democrat. They can't vote for a black person. So whether it was your inability to vote for a woman or a person of color, those are two big. Like when a black woman runs in Florida for office, I'm like, damn, you got a hurdle. That's 8%. You got to be 8% better just to be 50-50, which is a tall order. Like that woman who lost to the shitty people. It was Florida elections. They elect the shittiest people. Anyway, what are you gonna do? All you can do is your best. Speak up, speak out. This is the only thing I can do. It's good, maybe in some ways, although it's distracting and taking up a lot of my time, and it's making me lose subscribers. But it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good here at All Good Things and All Good Time, where life is. It's always a good day to be alive, regardless of Nazis trying to shit on our wonderful day. So, right on, you guys. Do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for supporting my channel. But you don't have to like or subscribe, you know. I want you to do whatever the hell you want. It's a free country, right? You know, you want to leave a comment, but if you don't, whatever, man. Do whatever you want to do today. It's a free country, right? Unless you're driving into Texas, and then it's like a communist border. It's so scary. I never want to drive into Texas again. Holy shit. Yeah, the El Paso border there, oh my God. It's a border to a foreign country. Yeah. Tesla has more rights than women. Yeah, yeah. And can you imagine being a pregnant woman in a red state knowing that could be your death sentence? If you need some sort of medical help because of some emergency related to your pregnancy, you're going to die. You're going to die. So, and if in many red states, if you're pregnant, you're married, You're a handmaid. It's illegal. You cannot divorce your husband. You are an indentured servant, right? Gnarly. So many reasons, if I was a woman of age, able to have babies, to not live in a red state. I mean, what if they were smart enough to see that connection? You know, this is on the streets of America. People are smart enough to respond to that which might kill them. I guarantee you. I just wish there was data on the number of women who've left a red state so that they won't be murdered by their future family wanting to have. Right? And that's really what's going on in America. Tell you what. All right. I love it. It is so offensive when these Republicans say, this is what the American people want. This is what they elected us for. No, never. I've never heard a truthful statement by a Republican when they said something like that, because it's always the biggest lie ever. It's a lot of people not paying attention and some people who are misled. So hopefully we can improve that. Hopefully losing their jobs and their farms and their ranches and their family members. Hopefully not a Spanish-speaking Mexican ever votes. A black guy ever votes for a Klansman. A Mexican ever votes to have his best friend deported. All the people that work at the rest Mexican. That's the thing. The rich Mexicans here who sometimes think that they're better than, or because they got here legally. Well, how about all the ones that got here legally and are legal citizens now, the green card holders, who take that mindset and then vote for a Republican, thinking, oh, but now we're revoking green cards, right? And that's a whole bunch of Mexicans who probably voted for Trump, thinking that they could never be part of that sweep. So hopefully they'll get on board for the next election. And you know what we haven't seen yet? Future news. There's going to be some sort of attack on Asians. Although we're already seeing, we're deporting people to China and any Asian countries right now too. But we haven't really seen the Asian community targeted yet. But just wait, guaranteed that's coming, because they've already targeted. I mean, they have in all their DEI stuff, but not specifically. Like we've seen women and black men targeted and yanked off the walls, and their pictures, their jobs gone. But just wait, because the Asian community's next, I'm sure. And what the hell are you going to do? Eventually they're going to get to people like me who are using free speech to say screw off. And then I'll have to make a decision. Is it worth it? A jail cell sucks. That's why I tell you not to do harm or crime, because you don't want to give up your big screen TV. I don't want to give up my big screen TV. Or a chair, or a bed, or bathroom. I really like those things. A kitchen. See that refrigerator back there? I love that thing. It has food in it. So, yeah, I don't want to go to jail. But the way things are going, just saying these words right here will qualify me for that. Because Republicans are weak, meek weaklings, snowflakes who can't take any criticism, which is why they're doing everything they can do. They were all a bunch of, I'm sorry you were all so teased in grade school, but you don't need to make everyone pay for it and kill everyone on earth because of it. All right. Make your life not complicated. Don't hang out with anybody that's violent. Don't hang out in the wrong relationships. Don't let those happen to you, which means you got to avoid MAGA women and MAGA men, because they are not healthy. Wear condoms. Don't drive drunk. Getting drunk is dangerous, but driving drunk is extra dangerous. Don't gamble. Don't take any pills, and don't snort shit up your nose. And your life's probably going to be really good by just not fucking it up. Don't fuck up your life. Have a good one. Be nice. Eat healthy. Exercise. Oh, I didn't lose everything. I still got my sense of humor. And truth is, okay, here's some philosophy for you. Buddhism tells us that all of our suffering comes from our attachments to our desires, our attachments to things, Once you lose everything, you realize, oh, yeah, they were right. Those are just my attachments to my things. If I just stop being attached to them, and it's pretty easy when they're all gone, I'm free. So there's this weird thing, if you could just allow it to seep in, after you lose everything, there's a certain freedom in it, because what happens when you die is you lose all that shit anyway. So it's kind of like you die and you lose all your shit, and then you realize, oh, that's not really what was the most important thing in life anyway, and you know what I mean? Although the sentimental stuff really hurts, the family shit. The piece of paper that connects me to the Mayflower that tells me every relative I have between here and there, I lost that. That's probably the most valuable thing I had. But I can reclaim it. If I could just get famous, I could get that guy on PBS to do my roots. The family roots guy. That's why I want to become famous, just so I can get my family roots reestablished by that guy on TV, because he's really good at it. Anyway. All right. Love you guys. Do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Times. See you in 12, 24, or 36 hours with a whole bunch of bad news, because that's what's coming. But we can laugh at it, right? Aloha.